Hey folks, we did a deep dive about 2 years ago, and with 5G, and it turns out there are many companies which, if you go back and look up DBM technical sales, in Connecticut lawsuits, and I have one on the document reader, 1253 52303 JAM. Do you know who JAM is? Myers. Myers died. He's handling the 5G case. But in a Myers case with Ron Chorches, who was murdered, and if you look at the defendant list, Mark Stern, Norwalk police officer, murdered. You can look through Holly Claiborne, trustee. She stole 300 acres on Martha's Vineyard and $300 million with the help of Judge Manning. So when you read the case and you look at the DBM technologies later listed, this is page 16. The whole thing is highlighted. Andre Cayo, another criminal attorney, and he's claiming he can't communicate with his own client because they put him in a coma, folks. They murdered half the people, and they put Corey in a coma for his designs of sniper rifles. Now, where am I going with this? If you go through this document and you look at the sales data, for example, these are the products: Q-Tech, Rodelco, Spectrum Control. You can see that they're in plain sight what they're doing. If you want to request a quote, hold on, trying to request a quote. News. RF, wideband, different type of new Voltronics, Presidio series broadband. I'm trying to show you what came up before. Team. Let's go to the team. Let's go down. I don't know if you need to know what these people do. Role focused on design of RF power at Raytheon, NXP Semiconductor, and the defense industry. Diamond Antenna and Microwave Corporation, Microwave Development Company. But if you get back to the document on the document reader and you go through this, you can see that Mark Stern, who's Governor Malloy's attorney, had negligence problems, breaches of fiduciary duty, violating the stay. All other matters can show against Mark Stern. Listen to my words. Mark Stern stole $40 million in sniper rifles for Governor Malloy, it appears, and these judges covered it up. So there's a physician treating Mr. Coopersmith, and as you go through this one document, and by the way, there are 90 cases of evidence demonstrating that the judge is in on it. with, hey, just about everyone. And they get to a point where they have to start killing the people. And Miss Claiborne and Ron Chorches have an, right here, Trustee Chorches, have a history of stealing all the assets of all the plaintiffs. Now, Obama lives on the acreage stolen from Corey Coopersmith, who was a sniper rifle developer, and his technology is being used by the Russians today. So, his assets, including his patents, were stolen. Just like other people in the case we are currently in. A very important patent was stolen for carbon credits. Very important cap. Now, my patent was stolen too for internet arbitration. Don't you think NASDAQ would want that? So what happened? My opponent, Jim Himes, in Congress right now, has a case with me from 2009, 10, 11, and 12, where Bank America cashed 1,300 stolen checks, stole $50 million in securities, and the latest development is that 2 days ago, Congressman Larson threatened to shoot me. Well, that's beyond his pay grade. So this is just an update on one document which, the highlighted sections I'm not going to read you, but there's quite a few highlighted sections, and here we are. Let me show you something. See this guy? Judge Truglia signed a warrant for my arrest a year after he died and gave it to Whiting, where my caseworker and, competency monitor had a copy of it. Now, Ron, there are so many problems with this transcript and who the players are. It appears that Mr. Coopersmith had claims against Mr. Stern, Malloy's attorney, so they murdered him in a plane crash with a fully loaded plane of sniper rifles on its way to Libya. Now the ATF is involved. There's DEA involved. There's all types of people involved with, yes, Raytheon. And they poisoned Corey, they poisoned Autumn, they poisoned Sherry, and now the court at 123 Hoyt Street in Stamford, Connecticut, has misplaced the documents. I filed 62 protective orders. Yesterday, our protective order against Congressman Larson was denied, and Mr. Larson threatened to shoot me. I just think that these documents that we're reading, now this is 119 pages long. I can show it to you. But the court in Stamford has a judge named Bothwell, who I believe is demonstrating that he is one of the judges bought by the narco drug cartel in Connecticut, running Oxy. And Dr. Huja is their front man, and his gunman needs to be arrested today. Or, well, why don't I just fill you in on it tomorrow? How about that? So when you look at important stuff, about engineering experience, the DBM advantage, and look back at the document prepared by, I guess, Ron Chorches, for DBM technology, specializing in microwave RF technology for slow touch torture. Okay, so these guys have been implicated since 2018 in federal court cases with Julie Manning. Let me show you her name. Julie Manning, who the marshals have refused to serve. Let me show you a box of documents that the marshals refused to serve. Stay right there. Okay, here's one of 3 boxes. Let's pull a rabbit out of the hat. T-Mobile. Yeah, they're involved. Yukon. They're involved. The marshal once served Yukon. Secretary of State. Syracuse, New York. New York Secretary of State. Okay. Well, at least it's not Connecticut. Oh, Kristen Sullivan, Secretary of State, Connecticut. Hold on a second. Leonard Green, Beacon Falls, Connecticut. Now, what did he do? I don't know. I'm getting sick and tired of, who was Maria Craig? Manchester, Connecticut. Well, she got named as a defendant in the case because her identity was stolen. So when she finds out that she's a plaintiff in a $4.3 trillion lawsuit, she might be upset that she might lose her house. But truthfully, and here's one from Madison, Connecticut, Nancy Matucci. Who's that? I don't know, but her IP address was used to hack 20 other states. So here we go. Connecticut hacked Georgia, changed votes. Georgia is just had the FBI break down the doors 24 hours ago, and they stole cases of documents. Okay. Storrs, Connecticut, Sarah Ann Chase. Who's that? I don't know, but her identity was used in the largest. Here's General Dynamics. There's a lot of interesting characters in this. Judge Gennario. What a pleasant man. He's committed more crime. Oh, look at that. Palantir. So, folks, a lot of people are being served, and it's an expensive proposition. Paramount Wireless, Secretary of State. What did they do? Ask Robert Marconi, he knows. Oh, Premier. Been looking for this one. Carl Cicchetti said I was a racist Trump supporter and got Judge Bizzuto in trouble with destroying records. I sent her office 63 judicial complaints. No response. Spader's in there. Spader was a attorney that heard his own cases that he filed against defendants who had falsified trustee documents, and they had their houses stolen by Spader, for Spader. Isn't that beautiful? Carl Cicchetti. I got to keep this one out. Okay, that's not going back. Anyway, folks, I hope you understand. Carl Cicchetti is the clerk of the Supreme Court of Connecticut. Now, I filed 1,100 habeas corpus with the Supreme Court, and he destroyed them all. That's 1,100 felonies for just one guy, Carl Cicchetti. Listen, keep his name. If he isn't arrested this week, we're going to have an issue with his co-conspirator, Judge Alexander. So I'm going to send her this video. Actually, hold on and I'll send it to her right now. Can you hold on? No, there's no way I can show you me sending you a video I haven't processed yet. So let me process the video, and I'll guarantee you in 10 minutes, Judge Alexander is going to have a copy of this. Thank you very much.